Hello, everyone. This is Kelly Beard of KarmicTools.com, and this is your weekly forecast for June 5th through the 11th of 2022. So we have a light week compared to the last couple of weeks. Thank you, God. We need a little bit of a breather. But that's not to say that we still don't have some work to do, because we kick off the week on Friday, the 10th, with Mercury trining Pluto for the third time during its retrograde phase. As of today, it's going forward. So Mercury connected with Pluto April 28th, May 25th, and of course, this week, June 10th. This activation makes any deep delving within easier and more fruitful. It encourages you to ask the deeper questions, clarify your deeper feelings, and trust your intuitive gut feelings that are telling you something has to die so that some other aspect of your consciousness can live. You'll want to explore your inner self, sort through recently gathered information, and try to understand better what your own natural process really is. It is best to be alone for such research. Take a day or a weekend and grab your most powerful books and music and get somewhere beautiful if you can. If not, then your bedroom will do just as well, and dig deep. You are finally ready for the deeper truth, and you will be transformed by what you learn. If you must communicate with others, plan on that being deep as well. So best to talk to a trusted advisor or wise elder. Nothing superficial today. The only warning with this energy is not to become obsessive about one particular idea, and certainly don't try to force any ideas on others. If you feel the deep need to focus on one particular thing, that is fine, but try to keep some perspective or write down all your revelations so that you can reflect on them at a later time when you can be more objective and prioritize better. So this is what's been up for April, May, June, digging in the depths with Pluto in an ease and grace angle, though. So that is good, y'all. That could have been a square. To me, based on the other Mercury retrograde activations, this is helping us change in some major way how we think and how we express and where we want to go next with our creative ideas. Saturday the 11th, Venus conjunct Uranus is definitely an awakening, an initiation. It's a new beginning of some radically new values and priorities, which have probably been bubbling within you for a while now. You are supported to shift without apology. Remember, when you change, everything or everyone around you naturally changes or goes away. Same old will not do at this time, and you are supported for thinking outside the box, especially where conscious equal partnership is concerned. We are in a new era, the Aquarian age, that supports the individual within the context of the whole. We are all learning how to do that on micro levels within our own individual relationships as well as on macro levels in the world. Use this activation to release resistance and open to the new. Shake things up and look at your life from a completely different perspective and see if you don't find renewed value in some places and others that have completely run their course and can easily be released. Finally, pay close attention to any innovative ideas that come up around this time, as they can be useful down the line. So this is an awakening in our relationships and finances, which whatever you value, whatever you're focused on, whatever's most important to you at this time is initiating anew with Uranus and Taurus. So it still brings it back to food, sex, and money and our basics and our creature comforts and our personal security. So this is where we need to break out. I get the sense that it's simply time to do things differently and to be okay with it. Which leads me to my own Mercury retrograde in Gemini Taurus, which affects my daily routine and partnerships with you all. So I had my Mercury meltdown came in the form of outdated operating systems and upgrades to email that the rest of the world is doing that I don't necessarily need. But in order to play their game, you gotta play in their sandbox, in the box they create, which is just totally annoying. But anyway, so let me just tell you, for those of you that have been sending me emails and maybe not gotten a reply, I am able to receive, but in order to send, right now, I'm having to go through a browser, which is a total pain if you know anything about anything. Normal people open up an email, type it up, and send it. In a browser, you got to have online, you got to open up, you got to go through all these changes. You get tracked every step of the way. That messes up your history. So then you got to clean out the history. It's just convoluted. It's just totally convoluted, and I hate it. And I hate going through the browser for anything. But that's the way it is right now. I am waiting for a new computer to arrive on the 13th of June. You all know how it goes when you order new equipment during a Mercury retrograde. So I've already had one come, and you won't believe this. It came from the Ukraine. I'm bugging. I don't know what to think. I never in my life had anything delivered from the Ukraine, and now all of a sudden we got all this madness, and the Dell computer I ordered comes from there. Doesn't make any sense. But anyway, the second computer I ordered is coming from California. So we'll see what happens when it gets here next week. The other thing I wanted to kind of bring up and check in with you all on, and like I said, I'm receiving emails just fine, so please feel free to write me. I will find a way to reply. What I would also suggest is for many of you that are in contact with me on any kind of regular basis, might want to send a phone number so that I can text you. Sometimes that is easier. But what I wanted to ask you about was the next kind of event or activity that I would do with and for you. I'm curious, so here I do need you to write me and let me know if you're interested in more astrology classes. Like I was thinking about doing the money houses is a very popular thing when I'm talking to people during their readings and explaining where the money houses are and how to work with them and how to understand them better. That seems to be something most were interested in. The other one I would think of would maybe be the creativity houses, because that's what we really need to do right now is think outside the box and work with our energies in completely new ways to get some new results, right? But the other thing I'm kind of itching to do in a group is another ritual and ceremony like we did on 12/12 for Oshun that I did that with Yeye, but I'm got some other things and some other ideas that I'd like to do on my own. And so reach out and let me know if you would rather do some shamanic astrology and get into some astrological topics or some earth medicine ritual and ceremony that we can also tie to the sky pattern and probably work in some magic as well. So just curious, where's everybody at? Also, because it's a retrograde, you might be in just straight overwhelm and can't really think about new classes in any way. But there's other things in the energy field that are pointing us to learning new things and to trying new things and to looking at life from a different perspective. That's what the whole Mercury retrograde does to us. And trying to find those creative solutions somewhere else because our old ways are never going to work again. Everything is getting upgraded no matter who you are, where you are, or what you're doing. This is a major shift in the social collective realms that is affecting us individually. So how we navigate and make our choices on a personal level is going to affect us down the road. So let me know if you need a check-in. The Astro Tarot reading is like 2 for 1 because you get all your astro cycles, find out where you're at right now and where you're headed. And the tarot reading gives you some nice, pretty specific advice usually for here and now. So I always like to kind of cover both bases. I'm going to have a pretty busy week around solstice and Father's Day and all that. But before and after, we could open it up and do some fun things. Last thing I want to mention on here is that there's 2 things. One is I have filled out an application for an intern. That was kind of exciting, and I am grateful to Deborah for connecting me with these people. I'm not sure if it's going to work or not because, like I said, I've only filled out the application. But I'd like to reach out to my own community to see who would be interested in virtual assisting me because it's getting to that point now where I need some help. And the other thing is I'm in Colorado Springs, Colorado. So I'm curious who's on the ground around here or who do we know? Who's a friend of a friend of a friend? How can I get connected on the ground in Colorado Springs? Who do we know? We have a huge community, y'all, that is very resourceful. So I know that somebody out there has friends or family in the Colorado Springs area and that would be able to connect me with some people that might be interested in some astrology or earth medicine. So reach out with any suggestions or ideas. It is finally spring and summer around here, so I will be getting out on my own to try to make those direct connections. But I'd love to tap into my own community and those who are already with me to see if we can't drum up some resources around here to expand the circle in a more real way. That's my way of changing. I get it. The whole world is on Zoom now. But I have already been online, y'all, since 1999, okay? So what is that? That's 23 years of virtual reality for Kelly. I need some real reality stuff. I want to be in person with people, whoever wants to be. I get it. The world is split down the middle. 50% are never going to want to deal with humans again. But the rest of us are starving for human contact. And we need to find a new way to do that on the ground. And I have a gigantic backyard that I would love to play in with anybody that lives in the area or is visiting and passing through. So those are my little requests for the week. It's a nice short forecast. Important activations to just be two. Mercury working with Pluto is a big deal, and Venus working with Uranus is a big deal, and they're both personal. So try to get some time to yourself this week to really check in with what you'd like to change, how you'd like to improve things, and who you'd like to work or play with going forward, because this is the seed time for all that. This is when we're developing those ideas and about to go forward with them as soon as we tweak a few things, and that's all we need to do. All right, everyone, I hope you have a fantastic week. Reach out if you need to. This is Kelly Beard of Karmic Tools signing off.